I wouldn't have prayed for a child if I knew this is what would come after. The story that I'm about to read to you is a very pathetic one. It is heartbreaking, and the person involved is seeking advice. So let me read the story. The person says, I got married 4 years ago, and we've been trying to give birth since then. We don't have any time to waste because age wasn't on my side and my wife loves babies. Fortunately, my wife took in and gave birth in September. That was the happiest day of my life until things fell apart. My wife and baby were in the hospital for close watching before discharge. I would go and return every day to be with my beautiful family. On the third day, the doctor called me aside and gave me a devastating news. He said they discovered some illness on my baby, one of which is a rare heart condition and cerebral palsy. There are other deformities that could affect him for the rest of his life. That is if he lives past a year. These defects include lung problems, spina bifida, and maybe blindness. This information ruined every joy I've felt since the day we got the pregnancy news. The doctor said there are two options. One is to save my baby's life, which will cost us a lot of money, and the baby will need constant medical care to survive. In other words, he will live a life of pain and be in and out of the hospital every day of his life. Second opinion is to allow them pull the plug and let him go in a swift and painless way. My wife agreed to let him live and pray for a miracle, but it is not forthcoming. This is a child I've always wanted to have, but seeing him in pains daily hurts my heart. It is affecting my finance as well, and I am few treatments away from being poor. I want you to advise me. Should we keep believing or convince my wife to let us allow the baby go? This has been the toughest 2 months of my life, and I miss my happy family. I wouldn't have prayed for a child if I knew this is what will come after. I am physically, emotionally, and financially exhausted. This is indeed a very tough one. This is a kind of story that you never wish upon yourself or even your enemy. Yes. This is indeed a tough one. Making a decision in this case is tough, and I honestly don't know what to say. So I'm hoping that you would watch this video and advise this person. I actually came across this story online, and the comment section was kind of divided. Many people tilted towards pulling the plug to allow the baby go in peace, saying that allowing the baby to live is going to be more devastating. The baby is going to live all his life in pain, and it is going to drain the family, and this may eventually lead to divorce between the man and his wife, and they will never get to enjoy the marriage, the family, and everything, at the end of the day, right? While a few people are like, oh, there is nothing God cannot do, as long as there is life, there is hope, and things like that. Some individuals are saying, okay, let the baby go. The blessing of the Lord makes rich and adds no sorrow to it. You're going to have other children. Some are also saying, okay, this is one of the downsides of having children when one is advanced in age. So there are divided opinions, there are divided thoughts on this matter. But then what I would say is that the couple involved should pray about it, because this is a very critical condition. They don't want to live in guilt for the rest of their lives, right? They should just pray about it before making any move, because it is indeed tough. It is indeed tough. I understand that seeing the baby in pain is very devastating. And I also understand that it is not easy to pull the plug on your own child, you know. Ah, some are also saying, well, it is better to allow the child to leave this world early enough before you get so attached to the child to the point that you don't want to let the child go again, and then you watch your child live in pain throughout his lifetime. But like I said, this is a tough decision to make, and they should really pray about it, be convinced of whatever they want to do, and let God take control. But then, before I go, one thing I am going to say is that during pregnancy, we need to do all that we are supposed to do as human beings. You see that drug called folic acid, it is very tiny, but it is very, very important. And while I was pregnant with my own children, I took folic acid religiously because I was told that I needed to get enough folate to prevent spinal problems in the children, which could lead to paralysis, and other congenital problems. So I did that, and I really want to hope that as soon as a woman is pregnant, even while they are planning to get pregnant, yes, while you're planning to get pregnant, start taking folic acid. Throughout your pregnancy, take folic acid, and even after your pregnancy, take folic acid. I also remember growing up, we used to take folic acid in my house a lot, right? These little things. And there is also a scan called anomaly scan that a pregnant woman can do to detect if the baby has any deformity, before the baby is born. I did that as well, and I find that to be very, very useful. Although some people don't like to take it because they believe that whatever the outcome of that scan is, they will still go ahead with the pregnancy and have the baby regardless. So to them, they feel that, oh, it doesn't matter. Meanwhile, some people will want to have it so that if any deformity is detected in pregnancy, they can do away with the pregnancy. So, people just have divided opinions when it comes to medical situations like this and so on, right? This is tough. Anything that involves children going through pain breaks my heart a lot. It breaks my heart a lot because some of these children cannot even express the kind of pain that they are going through. You sometimes have to guess, you have to think for them, and all of this. And one painful thing in life is not to be able to express how you actually feel. You are at the mercy of other individuals who just give you treatments. And I also know that having children like this can drain the finances of a family. It is also like having children living with sickle cell, and that is why I advise people to check their genotypes. Don't just be carried away with lovey-dovey during courtship or in the course of your relationship, in the course of dating. Be sure of your genotype and the genotype of the person that you're about to marry. In fact, that one, you have a lot of control over it. You do. You can decide to call it quits before you get married. Because I feel that it is going through needless pain, opening your two eyes and going through such a relationship, hoping for a miracle to happen. Why don't you believe God, or why don't you use that faith to believe God for another kind of miracle that you don't have control over? Well, I just believe that God is going to intervene and help the man and his wife to make the best decision. And yeah, it is well. That is all I can say. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for tuning in. Please don't forget to like this video. Share your comments. What do you think that this couple can do? Do you have any advice for them? Don't hesitate to share. And please subscribe to this channel in case you're yet to subscribe. I remain Olaide Agbaje, also known as First Lady. And on this channel, I inspire you to live intentionally. I'll come your way again by God's grace. Until then, be intentional. Bye.